staying on the military and the Pentagon and the military-industrial complex, all that good stuff. So confidential Biden Department of Defense memo. So I'm thinking about joining the military, and you'll see why. Confidential Biden Department of Defense memo revealed that transgender service members can skip deployments and receive indefinite physical fitness standards waivers. So that means as long as you identify as transgender, you can join the military, get paid on the taxpayer's dime, get all of the benefits of being in the military. You know, your college paid for, housing taken care of in some cases, free health care, all of those benefits while continuing to get paid on the taxpayer dime. But you don't have to be deployed anywhere. Anywhere. That may be active duty combat over in Europe, Korea, the Philippines, where it doesn't matter. You don't have to be deployed anywhere. Not only do you not have to be deployed anywhere, you don't even have to pass the fitness exam. You can be 350 pounds, getting paid on the taxpayer's dime, never seen a deployment in your life, all the benefits of being in the military, and not do anything as long as you say, hey, I feel like a woman. Da, 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 da. You know what? Remember that jam? You know, Chris Baker used to do that on his show back in the day. I think what's-her-face sang it better than me, though. So the dossier has acquired, this is from dossier.today, dossier has acquired a new Department of Defense memo that goes into great detail on the topic of care of service members who identify as transgender. The document, which is not classified but has long remained unavailable to Americans, is being published here for the first time for public consumption. 34-page memo details the enormous perks granted to service members who identify as transgender. There you go. So obviously, Trump banned transgender service in the military, and Biden brought that back. So here we go. So here are some of the highlights found within the document. And we'll link this highlight number 1. Taxpayer-funded care for transgender services or transgender service members includes speech and voice therapy, which so they can change your voice so you don't sound as masculine, so you don't have a woman that's 6 foot tall and talks like me or Alex Jones. Cross-sex hormone therapy, laser hair removal. Sound appealing, Mia? Are you into hair removal on the taxpayer dime? Voice feminization surgery, facial contouring, body contouring, breast or chest surgery, which is upper surgery, genital mutilation surgery, and psychological counseling. I don't have a problem with the last one, but maybe if because of war they had the issues. Things that happened, while they were in the service and not things that happened because they wanted to chop their dick off on the taxpayer dime. Number 2, service members who identify as transgender may receive a waiver for grooming and uniform standards. So the grooming standards don't apply to you. You can grow your hair out however you want. Uniform can look however you want it to. Number 3, service members who identify as transgender may receive an indefinite waiver for physical fitness standards. Becomes a de facto permanent situation, and the service member just has to renew the request every 6 months. Service members who identify as transgender will be considered non-deployable during their transition period. Again, given that they're often required for life, the hormones, this may render the transgender identifying service member as permanently unable to deploy. The United States military is, obviously, we talked about this in the midweek check-in. You got the worst recruiting environment since the Carter administration. As far as the U.S. military is, they continuously fail to hit their recruiting goals. They're calling up reserves left and right. There's some rumblings going on about a draft. Guess who just turned too old last year to get drafted? This guy right here. Good luck, college kids. Now, I wonder why. It's almost like, Joe Biden's a coward that never served in the military himself, yet still wants to send other people's kids off to die. Now, granted, he wouldn't do that with his own crackhead son. It's almost like they forced this experimental on people. It's almost like the U.S. military doesn't stand for what it did 20 years ago, or even 10 years ago. It really doesn't. The U.S. military has been used as a tool to spread wokeism. It's a vehicle for the regime's agenda at this point. And I'm not bashing people in the service. I'm not doing that at all. I'm bashing the people in charge of it that make dumbass decisions like this. I would not let my children join the military in the current state. There's no way. There's no way. It is not what it was 10 years ago. They got a lot of ground to make up to gain the trust of parents and these rural and inner city kids that they've been recruiting for the longest time.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked what you saw, be sure to click the link in the description to get the full episode on Rumble. If you prefer to listen along, you could actually get us on Spotify, Spreaker, and iHeartRadio. You can also go to www.outlawstreamers.com to learn more about not just my show, but tons of other great shows and all the exciting projects they have coming up. Follow my socials at Caleb Isn't Funny on Twitter and Instagram, at Caleb Salvatore Comedy on the Chinese Spy app that is TikTok, and be sure to like and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Thanks, and we'll see you every Saturday for brand new episodes of That's Based. Peace.